So why aren't there more women in magic?
Why aren't there more women magicians? What about engineers, miners and pilots, soldiers, construction workers, comedians, and musicians? The magic community is a tiny representation of our entire world. It's a microcosm. And so the situation of the world at large necessarily dictates the situation of our magic community. Because you cannot remove yourself from a construct you are unaware of, and knowing there is a problem is the first step to recovery. It takes generations to change, and change is our only guarantee. Exodus 22:18, thou shalt not permit a sorceress to live. When I said it takes generations to change, I meant ages. Actual ages. 1584, The Discovery of Witchcraft, one of the first magic books ever, was published in part to expose the tricks of cunning folk, wise men, and witches, because back then they thought we were all bidden to do the devil's work, and Reginald Scott was sick of watching the world go berserk, so he published this book so they'd stop hunting and burning, but it took another 100 years of learning to remove death as a punishment for magic. Why not more women magicians? Cooking, cleaning, children, famine, poverty, war. Because magic is a microcosm of our world. Pretty good for a girl. Face it, fellas, when it comes to misdirection, the ladies have a couple of built-in advantages that males just can't compete with. Your sleight of hand is good, but you should get a skirt. Women are welcome at magic club meetings, as long as they bring sandwiches or desserts. Welcome to the brotherhood. These sentiments are only a mirror, because some of the truths we hold dear are nothing but insidious, outdated opinions born in fear. 1921, England, the pinnacle of first-wave feminism. Ooh, I said the F word. And yes, feminism comes in waves like all good things in nature. Women were rising and rallying, risking their lives in revolution for our right to vote. You go, dead girlfriends! 1921, England. P.T. Selbit debuts his new stage effect. A woman, Betty Barker, is cut in two and put back together. Woohoo! After prestige worldwide for sawing through a woman, Selbit did what any magician would do. Create variations, woohoo! Destroying a girl, growing a girl, stretching a girl, indestructible girl, oh my, oh me. But no matter how hard he tried, Selbit could not recreate history. Because magic is a microcosm of our world. Now, talk about good timing. Selbit coming up with the effect and method when he did, and releasing it that year with so much fuel to add to his fire. I mean, it is the best case of great timing I can think of. What a coincidence! Unless you believe in real life magic, like the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious. Beyond an individual's subconscious, it's the part of the psyche all of humankind shares. It's where things are when we say it's in the air. It holds all of our ancestral memory and explains why certain archetypes are so important to us. The miraculous timing of sawing through a woman can also be described as an expression of the collective unconscious grappling with rapid, giant changes in the powers of men and women in our physical realm. The male psyche perceived women's reasonable demands of power as a threat to the male ego's very existence, leading a skilled magician to randomly invent an effect that allowed him to chop a woman's body into two separate pieces and put it back together with a wave of his wand. Whether it was luck, coincidence, or unconscious influence, I have a funny feeling, almost a prediction, that audiences in 100 years won't respond to that effect unchanged with quite the same conviction. We are still less than 10% of the magic population, and I believe greater awareness of our pattern and presentation can help add to our growing foundation. Wouldn't it be nice if laymen, or women, volunteered to assist magicians without hesitation instead of fearing that by coming on stage they risk humiliation? And as for me, I didn't know about any lady magicians until I was 16, going on 17. And yes, I was creepily hit on by men much too old when I was much too young. And yes, a mentor I once respected treating me like a piece has led me to tears that would not cease. Hear me, young lady magi! These are not the mentors you're looking for. And yes, women magicians still deal with sexual harassment backstage regardless of age, as do women everywhere offstage, because it takes ages to change. Even so, I don't believe that another woman magician will have to deal with a man actually spitting at her feet, muttering "girl magicians" before she goes on stage, as Margaret Steele did in her coming of age. Thanks to the assistants who were cut up, smushed up, stretched out, and stabbed, mostly without even so much as a mention in the program. And the magicians Adelaide Herman, Del O'Dell, Frances Marshall, Talma, these queens of magic who inspired Susie Wandas, the lady with the fairy fingers, Celeste Evans, who inspired Diana Zimmerman, June Horowitz, Gabe Blackstone, Frances Willard, Dorothy Dietrich, Suzanne Jones Caesar, Jade, Lisa Mena, on the shoulders of giants I stand here today. So let's mark this question answered and get it out of the way. Because the truth is we're now too numerous to name or list, because the future is female, and hashtag female magician will display the up-and-comers, the next generation, the next inspiration, the current happenings, the here and now. Doing it, getting it, working it, girl. And some women do get into magicians just to try out different wands. And to that I say, get it, girl. No shame here. But if you are studying magic, you've read the books, you've taken the time, and you just don't know why your pass is totally unpassable no matter how many times you read the passage, please keep asking. Or if you just want to get a simple routine up on its feet and you don't know why you feel the need to justify your lack of interest in heavy sleight of hand to all the boys in the club, you don't. That's the rub. Because having an unbelievable diagonal palm shift but sweating and gasping when the lights turn on doesn't help you any more than having great tits and ass and no double lift to stand on. Cross your gaze, but don't cross your fingers. When you meet a woman magician, see her as your sister. And aren't we sick of hearing the magician is actually pretty good? Like it's a total surprise? Most laymen don't meet more than one magician in their entire lifetime. So I'll leave you with a single question. If that one magician were you, would we be well represented?